There are too many 17-year-olds in this conversation. Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Hannah Needs to Yell. And today I need to yell about caylen, but first, really quickly. Hi. I know that I have not uploaded a video in like months because I've been gone facing some medical concerns. And I know that I've been a little bit like, there's dogs barking, I'm so sorry. I've been a little bit cagey in how I've discussed that online, so my apologies. I'm here to let you know before we get into the video that I am doing better, and I cut my hair, and moving forward on my channel, I'm going to be prioritizing streaming, at least for the time being. So, if you like my content, please make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on so that you can jump into live streams whenever they happen. I'm working on formatting those live streams a little bit better so that they feel more like videos if you watch them on replay. So also check out the replay. Now today is different. Today I am posting a now rare video upload because my videos always do better than my live streams in YouTube's algorithm, and I want to get the message of this video out there and seen by people, especially other commentators with larger platforms than mine. And we'll start in a second with that, but I just want to say quick, for those of you who were worried about me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Your concern makes a huge difference to me and is part of what encouraged me to feel confident coming back to YouTube eventually. If you're someone who was concerned about my health, please check out my live stream from June 7th, 2024. I talk about my health updates as well as channel updates for the future of my channel. And now if you're not here for that and you're just here for the caylen story, that's fair. Let's get into it. The caylen problem. Let me begin by saying everything that I'm going to talk about in this stream is my speculation. There's a lot of speculation going on here. It's also mostly, though, a lot of me repeating other people's stories, other people's allegations, their experiences, not necessarily things that I know to be true, but I do believe the people who are speaking or who have spoken and the stories that they've told. But at the end of the day, I'm no detective, I'm no lawyer, I'm no police. I'm just a girl in my room trying to put together what I've seen. Welcome to Tana Mongeau and caylen and an unexpected deep dive that I ended up doing this week. Today's video, we're doing an update to my other stream from earlier this week when we talked about Tana Mongeau telling her live tour audience that Cody Ko slept with her when she was 17. On Monday of this week, when I did my other live stream, I noted that this was not the first time that Tana has publicly said this information about Cody Ko. I showed you a clip that in December of 2021, Tana said that when she was 17 or 18, she slept with Cody Ko and caylen. That sparked a lot of conversation at the time, but the reason this is coming back up now is that on her recent live tour, Tana confirmed that this happened when she was 17, definitively. Not 17 or 18, 17. Underage, a minor. The YouTube community are currently handing Cody Ko a lot of backlash because he would have been around 25 years old when Tana was 17, and that's, gross and probably illegal. We talked last time about the of age situation pretty in depth. Let me go to actually an age of consent article, a map that was made by a law firm in 2016. So this would have been relevant and applicable to this situation specifically. This article is from BH Law Firm. They specifically address the idea of whether or not there's a uniform age of consent for all 50 states in the United States. They start out by saying, no, there is not. And if someone engages in sexual activity with a person younger than the age of consent in that state, the person could be charged with statutory R-word or other offenses depending on the nature of the contact. So in 2016, these are the 50 states of the USA. These were their consent ages. If you're like me and you don't know the names of all the different states, or at least where they are on the map, luckily they've made this chart so we can scroll by name of state. Now, I believe that at the time of this, Tana was living in Las Vegas, Nevada, so she would fall under whatever is Nevada's law. I believe at this time Cody Ko was living in California. I am not certain about that, though. If anybody knows where Cody Ko was living at the time of this, that would help a lot with the legal side of this conversation. And I'm going to watch the chat, but I'm going to move forward with the idea that they live in two different states with two different ages of consent. Then what really matters in this situation, if you're going to look at it from a legal standpoint and leave morals behind, if your morals are based solely on the laws of the land, which I don't think is a good idea, but if that's who you are and how you're living, then if this took place and they hooked up and slept together allegedly in Nevada, I'm not sure which one, then the age of consent there is 16. That could have been fine legally. If it was in California, the age of consent in California was 18 at that time. They're doing a collab video where they're there together in person. So they're at somebody's house. They're either in Nevada or in California, in my theory that that's where Cody lived at that time. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert. I was trying to figure out where Cody lived in 2016 and I was not making progress. If anybody knows, please let me know. So according to Nicole and according to like a very brief research I was able to do, it does look like he was living in California at that time. If it's true that this took place around the filming of this collab video, if that was filmed in California and things took place in California, that is a huge legal problem, allegedly, my speculation, my opinion, looking at these laws. If it took place in Nevada, less of a legal problem, I think. But I do wonder, and this is a genuine question that I have. I do not know the answer to this. If you're in the legal profession, tell me, what you think on this in the comments or in the chat. If Cody lives in a state where the age of consent is 18 and he crossed state lines essentially going to Nevada where the age of consent is 16 and then has sex with a minor, a 17-year-old, is that a problem? Because crossing state lines is a problem. But I know that most of the time the issue is the minor crossing the state line. Like the issue would be if he had brought Tana over to California so that they, so then that also could be, is there, genuine question, are there more problems legally because they lived in two different states with two different ages of consent? That is a question that I have. I'm not making an accusation, but that is a question that I have. Just going to let that process because I didn't think about that part before. The YouTube community are currently handing Cody Ko a lot of backlash, but the community seems to have forgotten that when Tana Mongeau said this about Cody Ko, she also said this about caylen, who would have been 22 to 23 years old when Tana was 17. So that's also, gross and probably illegal. As of my last stream, I said I didn't really know anything about caylen, and you all may be more familiar with him because he got himself into a big scandal back in late February to early March of this year, which I will discuss at some point during today's live. But I haven't seen him being brought up in this conversation around Tana Mongeau as someone who also allegedly slept with her when she was underage. So I decided to look him up. And I think that it's important that I share with you all what I have found, which has a lot to do with how he has treated his female-presenting fans, friends, and collaborators over the years. I see a rather disturbing pattern, and I want to bring it to people's attention so that you can act accordingly. We're talking about caylen. Who is caylen? Caylen is a content creator who has been around on various platforms for over a decade. He is generally perceived as a good vibes creator, making fun, silly videos with his friends. He was part of a couple different collab groups over the years and eventually branched out into his own solo channel, collab channel with his friend Lawley, Twitch streaming, Stream Edits channel, a YouTube VODs channel. He's done some acting jobs every now and then. He's done all sorts of things over the years. Instagram, Vine, TikTok, there's a long list. Like most social media stars of the 2010s, caylen had a few controversies in his early career on social media. I'm not going to go over all of them for a couple of reasons. One, to be honest with you, I don't think I have found all of them. I have a suspicion as to why. When I Googled phrases like caylen scandal or caylen controversy, the results were surprisingly few and surprisingly recent. Most talking about the February incident that just happened. And the issues that were being discussed were not quite as intense as I imagined that they would be based on how my chat was discussing caylen in my last stream. That being said, I did find things like this Reddit post. So this says, wholesome unproblematic video of JC kissing an adult. JK, she's 14 and he was 23. Here's my, what I want to point out here. This user has been on a bit of a campaign to try to get this video seen, but whenever I go to open it up on any of the links that they share, the video is unavailable. It's privated. I don't think that this is a video that this Reddit poster owns. I don't think it's their video. I think it's a video they're trying to link to bring attention to this event that they're claiming. And I've seen some descriptions of what this event, what it was supposed to be, that it was supposed to be that he was supposed to stage kiss her, and instead he actually kissed her at a meet and greet, I believe. I'm not confident on the actual full story there because listen guys, I researched this as much as I could this week, but the reason I'm trying not to do the most deep dives anymore is because I just don't have the time that I used to have to research things in depth. So all the more reason to take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt and understand that it's my speculation and my opinion based on what I have found, and what I have found may not be everything that's out there, so yada yada. This comment here alludes to it. This comment down here says, from 3 months ago, some of y'all are weird. Regardless if the thumbs were moved or not, these grown men should have been saying no to these poses, period. So, thumbs. If you're not somebody who does theater, I went to school for musical theater. Hi. A way to stage kiss someone is to hold their face. I guess it would be like if someone was going to fake kiss me. Hold the face, thumb on the lips, move the hand like this in front, and then essentially kiss the thumb. So it looks like a kiss, but you're kissing the thumb. So when they're talking about, regardless of if the thumbs were moved or not, this is what I'm talking about it was supposed to be some kind of a stage kiss, but then it was a real kiss, actually. That was just some of the things that I started finding when I was looking up caylen on social media. Also, this post should serve as a foreshadow and a forewarning to the types of topics we unfortunately have to discuss today. Warning to those who are sensitive to this type of shit. There's more coming. I'm so sorry. This might not be the video for you. If it's not, go in peace, my friend. I will see you in the next one. And it gets bad fast. So this is the most warning I can give you. So the fact that there's not more of this stuff on the internet and more posts about it, more articles about it, more videos about it, makes me think that some things have been wiped from the internet by caylen or his management, or like that video, I have a hunch that perhaps that video was copyright struck. But with that being said, tell me your thoughts in the chat and in the comments, because during my last stream, you all seemed to know a lot more about him. So feel free to let me know what you have seen and heard about caylen, with the caveat that, as much as you can, provide some sort of a resource or a receipt that I can go to double check. That always helps. I know you can't put links, but say I saw this on XYZ. Next. Reason number 2 that I'm not going to go through caylen's entire history. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I am not trying to do massive deep dives anymore, and I want to keep this video mainly focused on some specific related topics. We have a core theme here that we're sticking to. But in the description of this stream, I have linked articles that I found that discuss some events like when caylen made a bunch of misogynistic comments on Vine in 2013 when he was about 21 years old, even though the article says that he was 20, but it happened in December and he was born in September of 92, so he would have been 21 at that time. Also, some homophobic pranks, essentially, that he helped pull in March of 2015 when he was 22 and a half. And the time that he went on Zayn and Heath Unfiltered in February of 2021 at age 28 and pretty much admitted that he illegally brought Mary Jane into Canada. You'll notice that for all of these scandals, he was 21 or older. I feel like that's significant as far as discussing like who a person really is, like long term. There's stuff you do when you're a kid that you grow out of. Once you hit your 20s, it's harder to make that argument. It's not 25. We're not at complete frontal lobe development yet, but we're really close. So I'd like to see some better behavior. I'll also link an article about caylen's friend and channel co-host Kian Lawley getting fired from a movie that he was in due to his past racist jokes. So those 4 articles or video for the sake of Zayn, regarding Zayn and Heath, those are already linked in the description of this video. So feel free to check those out for further information. But those summaries I just gave you are all I'm going to say about those stories so we can stay on track. Despite these unflattering moments, caylen has always been able to be a frequent collaborator with other famous YouTubers, including Tana Mongeau. This connection with Tana Mongeau is what opened the door for me to discover the issues that I am going to discuss with you here today. We're gonna move back in time a little bit. And again, warning, discussions of inappropriate activity with minors. Now is when it starts to get dark fast. Let me take you on the research journey that I went through this week. When I was looking up caylen, one of the first sources recommended to me was the Do We Know Them podcast, episode 122, from about 3 months ago. The title is caylen's Creepy Search History Exposed. And Ariana Grande, but well, that's a different story. As someone who has watched Do We Know Them pretty often, I know that Lily and Jesse do their homework really well before they talk about somebody in a video. So this is where I started my search to find out more about caylen, knowing that I could get a pretty good overview of who he is and what he does. So in this episode, Lily and Jesse were focused on caylen's recent scandal in February to March of 2024, which I promise I will get to. But before they got into that too far, they mentioned in their summary of caylen that he had dated Leah Marie Johnson when she was 17, and he was 22 to 23. Because of the similarity between this and Tana Mongeau's claim, I paused everything to look this up. And I found a few things that I want to share. I have found a few sources that talk about the timeline of caylen and Leah Marie Johnson's dating timeline. But one of the easiest, most concise sources that talks about it is a gossip dating site. It's called who'sdatedwho.com. And so they described their relationship saying caylen and Leah Marie Johnson dated from February 2014 to January 2016. Notably, this website shows their starting ages at the beginning of their relationship. She was 17, he was 21. They have their birthdays listed here. Leah Marie Johnson was born on November 23rd, 1996. caylen was born on September 11th, 1992. There's a pretty even 4-year age difference between the two of them. And they started dating in February of 2014. So, some easy math. Yes, she was 17, he was 21 when they started dating. And they were together for almost exactly 2 years. So we're back to this article from August of 2016 by BHW Law Firm. At this time, the two of them were living in California, as far as I know. Yeah, no, I know that because I was reading about their life histories. Last time we were talking about how Tana and Cody Ko were living in different environments. Tana was in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cody Ko was in California. And so because the two of those states have different ages of consent, I was like, well, it could be this, it could be that. I don't know. However, in this case, California, at least as of 2016, age of consent is the age of 18. And I assume that it would have been established that age for a bit before it was put on this map. So that's a problem, right? For a 21-year-old to be with a 17-year-old in a state where the age of consent is 18. Aside from moral things, which is already like, it's weird because that's a big age gap at that age. 4 years is a huge difference at that age. But then you have legally, it seems like a big problem, you know? Just as a layman, not a lawman, but you let me know what you think. So this happened back in the day, right? 2014 to 2016. Leah Marie Johnson went on a big journey on social media, to say the least, over her life. She was off for a while, and then she came back in January of 2023. On January 4th, Leah Marie Johnson posted a video called "This Is My Story." And in this video, she describes a relationship that she had when she was 17 and when she had recently moved to California. She doesn't name this person, but she does make a very serious allegation against them. We're going to briefly discuss a DV allegation, as well as references to mental health concerns, misuse of meds, self-unaliving attempts, and other alleged relationships with minors. So if that's going to be triggering for you, I recommend you skip ahead now to timestamp 2551.
I was in a relationship with someone who I thought I loved, but even that changed when he put his hands on me and strangled me. I was so young I didn't know what to do or how to speak up, so I stayed quiet. I don't think I ever told anyone.
It's been widely speculated that she is talking about caylen here. Widely speculated. Like the little gossip site article that I showed you before, this Reddit thread that I'm about to show you also alleges that caylen was 21 when he started dating a 17-year-old Leah. I promise we're going to get to Tana, but I feel like this is important context because chronologically it happened first. You'll see where it comes in. What's more interesting about this Reddit thread that I'm going to show you is the comments section, where people allege a lot of dating minors claims against caylen and his friend group. I don't want to dive super deep into this because at the end of the day, it's a Reddit thread, so we have to take it with a grain of salt. I don't personally know much about this group of influencers, and honestly, my mental health cannot manage that type of deep dive right now. I was already stressed enough about just getting everything together for this stream. But I will show you these allegations, keeping in mind they are allegations, and if you are more in tune with these events, the ones that they're going to mention in this Reddit thread, feel free to tell me your opinions about them in the comments and in the chat. This is a discussion channel. That's my goal moving forward with this channel. So I really want to listen to what you guys have to say. This is a thread in LA Influencer Snark from 4 months ago. caylen and Leah Marie Johnson. She was 17 years, 2 months when she and JC became official in 2014. He was 21 years, 4 months. They dated until 2016. In her YouTube video, This Is My Story, she says she was strangled by the person she was dating when she was 17. She said she moved to LA when she was 17 and her career on YouTube picked up fast, but unbeknownst to viewers, she was partying every night, doing drugs, drinking, and had her first unaliving attempt at 18, all while dating JC. This person connects those dots. How did this not get more attention? The video came out a year ago. How have people like Trevi, Ricky, Connor, Kian that were around during that time not spoken about this at all? Have you ever heard the phrase silence is complicity before? SC in the comments shows they had known of / knew each other since at least October of 2013 when Leah was 16. Tana also mentioned on her podcast that her and JC hooked up when she was 17/18, so they're making the connection that I'm also going to make. She's 2 years younger than Leah, so their age gap would have been bigger too. So this is kind of a person's very nice, concise recap of a lot of things that I'm going to take a while to discuss because I'm a commentator. And then the comments on this are where it gets very interesting. Somebody says, I firmly believe JC is the one who strangled her. And then it goes down from there. Kian also dated Meredith Mickelson when she was 16 to 17 and he was early 20s. Someone else. And Jack Galinsky also started dating Madison when she was 16 and he was 20. Yeah, it was definitely him who Leah was referring to. Apparently, she's not the only underage girl that he's hooked up with either. I saw on TikTok that the Gen X Penn and JC rumors from before he dated Leah were true. She was also 17 at the time. Also, Tana confirmed they hooked up when she was 17, and I've heard rumors about one of the Merrill twins too. And then somebody asks for receipts. So again, take this all with a gigantic grain of salt. And this person doubts the Merrill twins rumor because JC went to Aaron and Ronnie's wedding. So I'm not saying this stuff is true, but I'm saying there's a problem here. That there's even enough that people are like able to speculate about. Okay, someone in my chat is aware of at least one of these stories. So it's not just coming from Reddit. Final note here. The timeline of JC Caylen and Leah Marie Johnson dating was about 2 years, from February 2014 to January 2016. Based on their birthdays, JC Caylen was 21 to 23 years old during that time, and Leah Marie Johnson was 17 to 19 years old. Now, Tana says that JC Caylen slept with her when she was 17, which would have been between June of 2015 and June of 2016, because her birthday is in like the middle of June. So part of that time falls during the timeline that JC Caylen was dating Leah Marie Johnson. So, allegedly, if Tana is telling the truth, whatever, depending on the timing, it is possible that JC Caylen could have cheated on Leah Marie Johnson to sleep with Tana Mongeau. And it's definitely speculating because there is a part of Tana's 17th year during which they were broken up. So it could have been during that part too. If that is true, I really don't like the idea that JC Caylen may have cheated on his 18 or 19-year-old girlfriend, who he started dating when she was 17, by going and sleeping with a different 17-year-old. There are too many 17-year-olds in this conversation. Even if he didn't cheat on Leah to go sleep with 17-year-old Tana, I still don't like the idea that shortly after leaving 19-year-old Leah in January of 16, he would have then gone to sleep with 17-year-old Tana. Like, there is no timing here that makes this feel right or good. This is too weird. There are too many 17-year-olds in this conversation around JC Caylen. Let's remember, what is the age of consent in California, United States, as of 2016, which means it probably was the same in 2014, 2015. 18 years old. So somebody in their 20s, under no circumstances, should be doing things with a 17-year-old. Certainly not dating long-term. Certainly not hooking up. Not having sex. Now, over the years, JC Caylen collaborated with Tana Mongeau a few times. This includes in 2021 when she participated in Season 3 of Reality House, an influencer reality series on the Kian and JC YouTube channel, the collab channel that JC Caylen shared with Kian Lawley. The first episode of this series premiered on November 19th of 2021. And that was just a couple weeks before Tana made this statement on her podcast, which is the statement that brings us all here today.
And that's not right. That's not correct. I know now. I was 17 at the time, 18. Like, that's not what you do. But at the time, it was just like, oh, you think I'm this and you're treating me and calling me all these names and treating me really horribly and like using me for a lot of money and like,
if you're gonna say I'm cheating, okay, I'm gonna cheat.
And it's like, if you're using me for mad money and making me buy hella shit for you and like, you know, forcing me to fly out to you just to be like super emotionally and like psychotically abusive, like shit, okay, bet. And so I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Caylen, shout out Cody Co.
Shout out JC Caylen. Shout out Cody Co. It's not just Cody Co. So I don't know why JC Caylen has been forgotten in this whole thing. Well, I just kidding. I have a hunch. I showed you all this clip in my last stream, and it is the clip, like I said, that got my wheels turning to look up caylen. And now seeing how closely this statement lined up with the premiere of Reality House Season 3, I think Tana was trying to use the spotlight from that show that both she and caylen were in to bring this matter to people's attention. Just based on what I have shown you so far, which I'm sure is not everything that's out there, to be honest. caylen seems to have a publicly known history of allegedly dating and hooking up with minor girls, and possibly allegedly physically harming at least one girlfriend. I pray there are no more. On top of that, his reputation generally includes him being a ladies' man and having a lot of female influencer friends around him and collaborating with him. And while he may see surrounding himself with women as a way of creating an atmosphere of fun and good vibes, in my personal opinion, if this is how he's treating those female friends and collaborators, then he's really just being disrespectful and objectifying them and possibly doing illegal shit to them. So, I guess this is why no one really called him out when Tana gave him the shout out in this clip. This behavior was more expected from caylen than from Cody Ko. So Cody got the heat. So let's please remember, reputation or not, any adult who allegedly has slept with multiple minors is not safe, at least in my opinion. So this needs to be known and discussed so that more young women influencers and fans can respond accordingly for their own safety. This apparent casually misogynistic attitude that caylen displays leads me into his most recent scandal from February to March of 2024. This scandal shows me that the behavior that I found isn't old shit from his 20s that he grew out of, but instead that now, here, today, in his early 30s, he's still carrying around the same misogynistic attitudes, in my opinion. This recent scandal happened when I was offline, going through my medical darkness era. So I completely missed it at the time. But in late February of 2024, caylen accidentally exposed his own Google search history during a Twitch live stream. Basically, he went to Google something during the stream, and before he even typed a letter, the suggested searches that automatically popped up revealed that he'd been searching a lot for leaks of his female friends' fans-only content, among other types of salacious or sexual content of female influencers. To be clear, I don't think it's weird for people to create or to consume adult content as long as everything that's going on is consensual, right? But what people have been finding gross about this is the fact that he wasn't just looking up any old adult content. He was mostly looking up content of his female friends. Ironically, this all came out shortly after JC's fiance had made a video saying that she trusted him around his many female friends. And I can't help but wonder if that's still how she feels. To give caylen the only benefit of the doubt that I can, I don't know the inner workings of his relationship, and it's technically possible that JC's fiance had no problem with him looking at adult content or OF content in general. But that's all I can say, because I highly doubt that she's okay with him watching OF content of his friends, especially those that she also knows. For example, one of the searches was for content of his fiance's best friend. Why? Gross? And if this wasn't a big deal to caylen's fiance, or to the people whose content he searched, his supposed friends, then caylen could have moved forward guiltlessly instead of responding how he did, which we will get to in a moment. All that being said, this scandal reveals a lot to me about how caylen sees the women in his life. Because he did so many searches specifically on his female friends, I have to wonder if he really sees them as friends or as eye candy that he keeps around because he likes to look at them. For example, a lot of people have noticed that he was specifically looking for feet pics of Tara Yummy, who is a prior fan of JC Caylen that eventually became an influencer herself and then started to collab with JC Caylen and then became his friend. This is who he was looking for feet pics of. The depth and toxicity of that parasocial relationship is mind-blowing to me, especially to the extent that this engaged 30-something-year-old man is looking up fetish pictures of this person that he's had a long-standing relationship with that started parasocially as a fan-influencer relationship. What even are boundaries? Where are they? Are the boundaries in the room with us? Because I don't see them. There's also the aspect that JC Caylen was looking up leaked OF content. It is bad to leak content that is behind a paywall, especially adult content. It is considered stealing at best and revenge P at worst. So, it is shady AF for JC to specifically look up leaks rather than going directly to the source and paying his friends for their work product that he is consuming. There are ways to hide your identity as an OF user, just like on any website in the world. So they don't need to know that it's him watching them if he doesn't want them to know that. But no, as much as he is a rich social media influencer who allegedly wants to see his friends and collaborators naked, he doesn't want to pay them for that privilege. And I can't help but wonder why. Does he think he's entitled to their content for free? Does he think he's entitled to see them? Where is the respect for these women? Where is the respect for what they do? Is the respect in the room with us? Because I don't see it. Once JC Caylen's search history was exposed, he responded by deleting around 30 of his live streams. He also played an apology video during a Twitch stream in which he made a few points. One, he said he had searched everything out of pure curiosity, which does not make it better. Two, he said that he had fucked up. So, okay, he has at least one shred of awareness. Three, he said he had apologized to the people he searched and to his fiancée, and everyone is okay now. And I would like to hear them say that before I believe it. Four, the most notable and laughable point that JC Caylen made. He said that these scandalous suggested search results came up because of one day back in October when he had searched all of this stuff at once out of curiosity. So, does he just think we're all oblivious? Or just completely tech ignorant, even here in the year 2024? Because this live expose happened in late February. So this 31-year-old man wants us to believe that he searched all this stuff on one day back in October, but the searches were somehow still being automatically recommended to him months later in February? So often that he needed to delete 30 live streams where they were visible? Because I can't think of any other reason that he deleted those 30 live streams. Can you? And all of that just came from one day of curious searching in October? JC Caylen, really? Or, just hear me out. Is it possible that you were looking up leaked adult content of your friends repeatedly, habitually, often enough that your browser knew to auto-suggest them to you as soon as you clicked on the search bar, before you even typed a letter in? Maybe that's what happened, but I don't know. You tell me. What's more likely, chat? What do you think? Let me know. After this apology situation, JC Caylen took a little break from socials, but as of checking today, His Twitch VODs go back to about 19 days ago. He has pretty regular Twitch VODs saved. And his VOD YouTube channel started uploading again 8 days ago. So that happened at the end of February, early March. We are now in the middle of June. It's been about a 3-month break. So I guess he took long enough to reflect on his thoughts and his actions and let it all blow over. But you tell me what you think. At the end of the day, I see a long-standing pattern here of caylen's bold-faced misogyny delivered with a soft boy smile. Under his mask of jokes and fun and good vibes, I think caylen actually sees his female friends and collaborators as mere eye candy, only valuable for their looks and sexuality, or at least that's how he treats them. I think his sexist, demeaning attitude was confirmed when he accidentally revealed his search history, but I also think that it's been around for a long time. It may even be the reason behind what he allegedly illegally did to Tana Mojo as a minor, and to Leah Marie Johnson as a minor and as an adult, depending on the timing of when the harming may have happened, and to several other alleged people that he's allegedly done similar things to. I don't know if this attitude is conscious or unconscious for caylen, but either way, I think it's worth calling out and warning other people about. So that's why I wanted to come here today and show you what I found in my research this week. In my opinion, casual misogyny is the worst kind of misogyny. Polite sexism, microaggressive sexism, passive-aggressive sexism, sexism with a smile. Good vibes and silliness can easily hide a person's true thoughts and actions, letting them excuse their wrongs as jokes or teasing or just having fun, and gaslight their victims, or even themselves, into thinking the victim is the problem, for taking it seriously, for seeing it that way. This mindset permeates a large portion of YouTube creators, and I think that the story of caylen shows us how dangerous it can be if that mindset is carried out into action. So be on the lookout for this casual, quiet misogyny with a smile. Call it out when you see it. Don't follow influencers who talk like this and act like this. Warn others about it, especially minors. To the extent that it is appropriate, depending on your relationship with them, educate the minors in your life about consent, about the age of consent, about laws and morals around that subject, about how to handle different situations that they may find themselves in, and protect yourself. Don't second guess any red flags that you see. Early red flags are just as red as later red flags that you wait to see. Finally, men, please call out your bros. You have the most power in this situation to hold each other accountable. And that's what I have for today. Those are my thoughts on this whole fiasco as far as what I've been able to find over this past week. And like I said, I fully believe that there is more to this story that I didn't have the time or the heart to look into further. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you missed me saying it earlier, YouTube has been purging my subscribers. Please just check and make sure you're subscribed. Turn on your notifications because I'm going to be doing much more streaming than video uploads. And share with a friend if you want. I don't know. I would like to get more subs someday. Let me know in the chat, in the comments, what you want to see me talk about. I have a list of ideas, but I also really would like to know what you guys are interested in. Thank you so much for being here. Goodbye. Peace be with you always. Bye. We're done.